Alright, so this video is about the CCS charger versus Tesla supercharger. Basically what happened, and I need to stop saying basically, but I kind of got tired of the Tesla owners bragging about it. So what we're going to look at in part one is a station better than Tesla's supercharger. In other words, is the station capable of more? What are the limitations, etc.? How could CCS be better than the supercharger? The technology and some other factors that go into that. In part two, as soon as I collect some more data, we're going to look at the network, the overall network of CCS stations versus the network of supercharging. We're going to look at it a little bit in part one, but as you'll see, there's a problem with plug share, which is where I was pulling my data from. So I'm going to have to find an alternate method of collecting data about the networks. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this. Tesla version 3 supercharging can output a maximum of 250 kilowatt hours. CCS can output a maximum of 350 kilowatt hours, and there are plans to take this to 400. That is a large difference. Right now, as it stands, that's 40% more. One of the biggest reasons I think CCS is going to overtake supercharging is because there are multiple companies competing in this space. There's EVgo, Electrify America, ChargePoint. Blink says it's coming. Nissan is switching over to CCS, and there's about 15 other car companies that are using this standard, whereas Tesla is just one car company that basically is building their own and having to build it at little to no profit, probably even operating at a loss. The other companies are trying to make money, but there's going to be greater competition because there's more players trying to get their piece of the pie. So let's take a look at one point that is big. I believe that CCS has much greater density within towns. Here are the number of locations within San Antonio, Austin, Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, which is probably where most of the metro areas in the state are located. Point being, if you need a station, CCS has greater availability. The Tesla stations are much further apart, so if one's full, you may be out of luck, and you may have to go pretty far to get to another one, which may or may not be within your range. CCS, on the other hand, I've seen 3 different stations within a block of each other, so it's kind of more like a gas station. As a final point, let's scrub back and forth between these two areas of Texas. I think this is compelling. CCS is not the clear winner, as there are more supercharging stalls at each supercharging location. However, the overall coverage is competitive, especially within the metro areas where most people do their charging. One final note, there is a CHAdeMO adapter for the Tesla. However, that only operates at 20% of the speed of the version 3 supercharger. Here are those locations as well. Now that does help, but it is not an overall solution. What I think Tesla will probably do is have a CCS adapter like they do in Europe, so that Tesla can use all the charging locations. Here's why we'll have to have a video in part 2 really delving into the overall network availability. It's because plug share does not work correctly. You can see there are 250 locations here. I'm pretty sure there's more than that. And as far as CCS goes, well, guess what? It still only shows 250 locations. To prove this issue, I'll add CHAdeMO to Supercharger, and there's one less location listed for both of them.